scary place. Dark shadows creeping in the moonlight, unfamiliar sounds surrounding you, stalking you. Is it a ghost, a werewolf, or something more human? What would you do if you found yourself lost in the strange woods? Welcome to the Strange Woods Podcast. Join us as we discuss the paranormal, true crime, and anything in between with your hosts, Jeremy, Jonathan, and Peter.
I think the best part about this, though, is that after that intro that Peter made, it just immediately is going to go into my dorky fucking voice. That's hey guys. Okay. But no, I do have something to talk about here. Old men, have you seen their ears? Old white dudes have the biggest fucking ears, and I know why. But the question is it that reason?
I'm curious, why?
Well, first, my theory is that there's an entire generation of white people born just with huge ears, and it was about like 80 years ago.
So they should all go extinct pretty soon.
Like nobody our age has ears that big, and it doesn't make any sense. So what the scientists will tell you is that it's the collagen in the cartilage and the skin breaking down and kind of slowly expanding over time. Some people think that ears and noses never stop growing. That's not true. But no, I'm going with an entire generation of weird people.
Maybe it was like, those skulls in, what was it, Africa, where they're kind of like stretched. They would like squeeze the skulls. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody thinks it's alien skulls.
The elongated
Maybe
skulls?
It's like that. Maybe they're like, hey, we want our kids to have big ass ears. So they just pull on their ears. Or maybe. Okay, here's the real answer. Their generation of old people pulled on their ears so much that it stretched all their ears out.
No, it's 100 years ago.
How big are we saying his ears are?
Have you not seen the elderly's ears?
All
like
I'm
Dumbo.
saying is my big ass
ridiculous.
ears don't fit inside the hole inside this over the ear headphone.
Your ears are not. No, you have small headphones. That's not your ears. Trust me. These old white dudes are on a different level.
Okay. I'll trust
What the
this.
fuck are we talking?
So
I don't know,
we're
but
talking
I
about
hope this is all cut.
selective
Oh
breeding.
no, this is going in. This is their first introduction on us.
Selective breeding in the 30s has produced this. That's what's going on.
Sorry, everyone. We're just figuring this out. So
No, we're not. This is our content.
That's the episode. Done.
2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Is that easy?
Yeah, it's a record.
Podcast.
The longest one we've had so far. Well, there's some dead silence.
I'm just letting y'all take it in. No, I got to write down a bunch of these horrible topics.
No, I was just looking through some of our other topics. These are all different things that, eventually I guess we can touch on some of them. The bowling alley shooting, the disappearance of Kristen Smart. I was just reading through some of this.
Yeah, the Kristen Smart one, they're supposed to be doing a verdict on that this week, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know I'm not familiar with this Stardust Ranch.
Ooh. So here's the gist of it.
Is that
There's this guy.
different?
There's
than
this
Skinwalker?
guy who, oh yeah, it's different.
Okay.
There's this guy who lives on this ranch out in the desert. And long story short, because we'll get into it on a different episode, but basically he claims he's killed gray aliens with a samurai sword on his property.
So one of those guys.
He should probably seek professional help.
I think Ghost Adventures went there and investigated his property or something. Dude seems crazy, but we don't use that word on weird podcasts, right?
I don't use the word period.
You just did.
Only just to say I don't use it.
No, I'll bleep it out for you.
Have the ghost Have the Ghost Adventures crew found adult-sized T-shirts yet?
Yeah, they don't wear the affliction shit anymore.
What?
I don't think.
I haven't watched it.
The main guy actually has some kind of like lung sensitivity, and he wears a mask anytime they go into like fucked up places.
He goes, yeah, that's a really bad career choice if you have lung issues.
Well, I think he developed it because of going into fucked up places.
Yeah, I mean, he's not claiming workers' comp on this. I mean, who's he going to sue? Himself?
Travel Channel.
Yeah, he could sue Travel Channel maybe.
What other topics do we have? We got the I can't pronounce it. Lalaurie Mansion in New Orleans.
Oh, the Laurie Mansion. That's a cool place. That's a fun one.
Do you know enough to talk about it?
Not at the moment. I mean, I know the gist of it, but I'm not going to get into too much.
All this is going to, I mean, we're all going to have to take time to research some of this stuff more. I feel like some of the topics that
I think we'll have to like choose our own topics and maybe research, come up with what we want to talk about and basically tell each other. Like one person tells the other two about it and they react to it in real time. Maybe they don't know the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's not a bad idea. If anybody listening ever happens to want to send in a story, we can also work that in at some point.
Oh yeah, we definitely want reader experiences or listener experiences.
Especially if anything we've talked about is something that you've dealt with or been to or done.
And if you want to send us an audio file, we can we'll play it.
I'm reading through some of these other topics, and I know nobody will ever probably get the full answer from it, but I know there's a lot of current work going into it. Is the Dyatlov Pass? I
hear that one, and I've always kind of heard that it's more or less been decided it was an avalanche, but I don't know.
I mean, we can get into that more later, but I just don't. From everything I've ever looked into, there's no way it was an avalanche.
Yeah, there's definitely some weird details in that.
I mean, there's strange little things that's not paranormal that I think it could have been, like the infrasound and the things like that they talk about.
Is that the one theory is also like the dismemberment being from maybe like wildlife and shit like that? That's what I'm thinking of, where it's like the campers on like some ledge, just like their entire camp got basically mangled and like.
I don't think it was a ledge, but I think it's what you're talking about.
Well, they set up camp where people said they probably never should have set up camp because the camp was too exposed to the elements. It was too open. So they were kind of in the middle of just no cover, tent in the middle of a field, basically on this mountain. And everybody was basically, it looked like they were getting ready for bed. But then from the way it looks, everybody exited the tent from the inside out. Well, obviously, but I mean, like the tent was cut open, not like used the normal exit. Like,
I think they like clawed or knifed their way out or something, right?
Yeah. Nobody had shoes on. There's a whole bunch.
Yeah, they were all like half dressed and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of them were like barefoot, and I think they were found with like spread out, like they were all over the place, right? I don't think they were together.
They're all over the place, and then some people have like messed up eyes, and then some people, I think there's one person that's actually missing a tongue.
But that could have been like birds eating their bodies or some shit like that.
But I mean, I guess, but some of them were found under snow too, like, so not exposed to wildlife presence.
Yeah. Maybe they were just like running away and bit their tongue off. No?
Possibly.
It's technically possible, yeah. And that's the best type of possible.
They say that biting through a finger is no harder than biting through a carrot. So there's a little piece of strange info.
Yeah, well,
I don't believe
I don't eat carrots, so not raw anyway.
Baby carrots, just like the crunch of a pinky finger. All right, what other topics did we cover? We got, have y'all heard anything about Randonautica?
I tried that once and it got me a daiquiri, so that was pretty neat.
I've tried it a handful of times, and only a few times I saw something that could have been like, that's kind of interesting. But I've watched some YouTube videos, and some of that seems strange. So
yeah, I think a lot of that kind of stuff's fake, though. I think that's people trying to get views on YouTube.
Yeah, true, probably. The one famous case that started it all was the one where the kids supposedly found the body in the suitcase. So,
that did actually happen. I think there's like police reports or something like that actually did happen.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm gonna try to get the police reports and find out some information on that, and that might be one of the topics I dig into a little heavier.
Well, speaking of police reports, have y'all ever heard of the Demon House in Gary, Indiana?
I think I have. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds familiar.
Essentially, it was like this family that had, I think there was like a grandma, mom, and like 2 or 3 kids. And apparently it was seen by the police officer that showed up that the kid like walked up the wall, and it's like written down like in the official police report for it. But I found the police report earlier. I was reading it. It's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. If you found the actual police report.
Oh yeah, it's real. Actually, the Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures bought the house, and I think they did like a whole documentary about it, and then knocked the house down because it was evil.
I don't think knocking a house down gets rid of the evil that's there. I don't think that's how it works. Did he burn sage?
Maybe.
Just fill it up with garbage bags full and burn the house down with the sage in it.
I mean, whatever works.
Sage and crystals and things like that.
That's the only way to get rid of demons.
Yeah. Crystal butt plugs.
Sounds like a weird stripper name. I hear a child.
I have this is in our topic board. I can't even pronounce this. What is ONGS hat? Okay,
so that one, I don't know exactly, but Brandy told me about it. She watched the video on it the other day. And from what she told me, it has something to do with these people that went missing. And supposedly it was like a time travel type of thing. Like these people living out in the wilderness figured out time travel. But then it turned out to be a big hoax. But there's a lot of people that think it was not a hoax, that it's a cover up.
True.
So I don't know. I need to look into it. It seems interesting.
Well, we've got a lot of interesting geographical location stuff we can pull from. I mean, Jeremy's got Texas on lockdown, and you've got Texas Louisiana. Sucks.
Yeah.
You've got Louisiana and the places that y'all have been, and I guess I'll cover Georgia, Tennessee, and
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why in southern and central Georgia there are more churches than houses in the back roads? Who is part of these congregations?
There's probably a few that the one person was in, say 50 people go to one church, and then 3 people all get mad and say, I'm going to start my own church. And then, and then they get about 50 people. And then each one of those have 3 people that say, I'm mad, I'm going to start my own church. And it's just a never ending cycle of uselessness at that point. But
fuck this, I'm starting my own church.
I'm starting my own podcast. It's just me complaining.
I could see that. I could see you having your own podcast just bitching about things.
It's just called The Rant.
I was on the phone with a coworker earlier, and he was trying to order food at Chick-fil-A. And he just had nothing but he just bitched the whole time, because the first thing he does is he drives up and they greet him in his car, 30 feet away from the menu. And he's like, immediately he just tells the guy, well, y'all should have the menu over here if this is where you're going to greet me at. He's like, I don't know what I want.
That's actually a good damn point. Because it's true, because the one by my house is the same way.
Just ask to see the menu.
Well, then they turn around the what is it, like a tablet or something? Or they got like a little printout or something.
Yeah, the printout.
I don't want to stare at the menu while you stare. I mean,
yeah, they turn around their off-brand iPad, and the pictures are so small on it that you can't even tell what you're looking at. I mean, to be fair, you can order chicken in a box or chicken on a bun. That's it. But it's the principle.
We've got one.
It's kind of like Taco Bell. There's all kind of things to choose from, but it's all the same shit.
There's a Chick-fil-A luau here. We have all the special ones, and you can order a pineapple burger.
Where the fuck do you live? Hawaii?
I think we established he lives in Georgia, Peter.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well, Chick-fil-A started here in Georgia, so all the special Chick-fil-A's are here.
Well, that's like in New Mexico. You can go to McDonald's and get a green chili cheeseburger.
See, there you go.
We'll
do a whole episode on where food change started. Hopefully not, but
I'm partial to Whataburger, but apparently, I think someone in is it Ohio bought out Whataburger, so technically they're owned by someone else in another state. But it used to be Texas.
Raising Cane's.
Yeah, bad.
No,
bad food.
I was trying to think who could have bought it in Ohio. What's up there? Bob's Big Boy Burgers or something?
I don't know that it's Ohio.
Oh, I thought.
Hold on.
Loud ass keyboard.
It's actually fairly quiet. It's not a clicky one. Let's see.
Not a clicky one. I've learned that they're either called mechanical or membrane.
Says the one talking about the slidey earlier.
That's how you adjust your volume on anything. It's a sliding knob.
Y'all can keep talking.
I'm listening to your.
We were waiting on this.
I'm sorry. I believe the people who bought it is BTD Capital Partners, based in Chicago.
That's a stupid name.
It's just an investment firm. All they do is buy things and make money.
Yeah, it's still a stupid name. Don't sue us.
Nobody's going to listen to this show, so I think we're safe.
No, there's like 6 people that'll probably listen.
They'll have to cut us some slack on the first one.
Yeah, this isn't really an official episode, so don't judge us.
I don't even think you should upload this crap.
Oh, I'm uploading it.
My original idea, I talked to Peter, I don't think Jonathan, about this chair that I insist was haunted at my grandmother's house. I'd like to pull that into the idea that children are more sensitive to paranormal than adults are.
I agree.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think that's a better, broader subject matter than one specific happening.
Do you want to talk about the specific happening now, and then you can bring that in later?
We're 18 minutes into a garbage episode.
We can start Overwatch. Keep opening soundtrack.
Click.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Speaking of, if we're actually going to use this, we haven't introduced ourselves at all.
They'll figure it out.
So Jeremy's the asshole.
I'm actually pretty pleasant when you get to know me.
He says.
And I'm the
actually
one.
no, I know.
I'm this one.
Yeah.
This voice belongs to me, Jonathan.
And I'm Peter.
And I am only pleasant when you first meet me, and then I slowly turn into not as much.
Toys R Us.
Do y'all hear my cat?
Yeah.
Tell Brandy to come get him.
So back to what we were originally talking about children being more sensitive. I do agree with that. And I think there's a whole different interesting segue that I can go into, because I've heard a lot of interesting stories about, now's not a good time to lose my train of thought, but
yeah, we're going to have to get better at that, because I do the same thing.
A lot better at that.
We're really not made for podcasting. That'd be great.
Well, that's why I wanted 3 voices on here. At least one of us will be talking at all times.
And a lot of people pre-script their stuff. They don't just go off the cuff like this. So
yeah, I don't do that. Because then I sound like this when I'm reading something.
There's no way I'll be natural pre-scripted.
No. Like I don't mind doing like an outline just to keep track of like major thoughts. But there's no way I'm scripting.
Yeah, an outline. I mean, I guess that's more or less what I mean.
Yeah.
So I cannot think of the word. Y'all probably know. Whenever you die and then you're reborn, reincarnation. There we go.
Reincarnation.
So I've heard a lot of crazy reincarnation stories. If you listen to different podcasts out there, and I've read a few stories about that in general. So the kid topic, the kids are definitely more sensitive, and there's a lot of weird things that happen to kids, and from what it looks like, a lot of research has been done to it, and there's some studies that show that kids start to lose sensitivity between the ages of 5 to 7.
Oh, that actually falls in line with my kid.
But do they
things he said?
Do they lose it, or is it beaten out of them basically by adults saying, "No, you don't hear that. No, you don't hear that."
No. We never told my kid he didn't have a ghost friend, and he just eventually stopped talking about it.
Oh, he says he has a ghost friend?
Oh, he did, yeah.
That's fucked.
He says he's kidding, but I don't know. It was fun. It was a fun time.
What was his name?
I don't know. He was an old man. I don't know. I'm not talking about you.
See, I just don't know if kids would make up an old man best friend.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. That's kind of random.
Well, the best part is my sister-in-law was over one time, and she's apparently terrified of ghosts. And so we told Levi, I was like, well, go get your ghost friend. And then so he walks out for a few minutes. He walks back in, and his body language, like it's like he's holding an adult's hand. You know, the way he's holding his arm kind of up at an angle. And then he just like,
are you serious?
Yeah. And then he lets go of the hand and just gently gestures toward my aunt. Well, my sister-in-law. Like, there you go. Here he is.
I present you, George.
That's so fucked up.
No, for a while I was talking about it, and then I think actually me and him just burned some sage throughout the house just to get him to stop talking about it. But
and it went away?
He stopped talking about it. I mean, the way I see it, if ghosts are real, you definitely don't want them to be freely roaming about your house. I mean, it's just, I think, bad news. So
yeah, especially since we don't know exactly what they are, if they are real.
Well, we don't, but I mean, if you think about it on a different level, I mean, in Catholics believe in purgatory. Other religions don't believe in purgatory, but nobody says a spirit has to completely disappear or a soul has to completely disappear. It's out there somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, I always go back to like the what is it called, where energy can't be destroyed. I mean, where does life energy go?
That's a good point. No, so this almost, in a way, ties into another topic I'd mentioned, and I don't even know if I'm going to research this, or I just make blind accusations and opinions. But so I was talking on the group chat, and I mentioned how like there's a few very specific locations that I revisit in dreams. And when I revisit these locations in dreams, I definitely feel a much stronger pull to them or a connection with them in my dream as compared to any other place that I would visit in a dream. And I know exactly where they are. I mean, I can pinpoint them on a map, like, you know, within probably 10 feet of where I'm pulled to. And my wonder is my spirit in some way tethered to these locations because they have some significance in my life? And so if I were to say...
So it's real places?
Oh, yeah. Real places.
But they're in your dream.
But I revisit them in my dreams with some
only places you've been or places you just know of?
No, it's places I lived or family lived and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But not in an astral projection type sense.
No. Okay. No, it's more or less just like in my dream, I will be at this place. But while I'm there, I definitely feel just like a stronger connection to it. You know what I mean? Than say if I were somewhere else. And it's hard to explain. And I'll try to think about better ways to explain this when I actually talk about it on a podcast. But so I guess my wondering is like I was saying, would my spirit be tethered to these locations and say, you know, if and when I do become a spirit, would my spiritual energy locate itself at these locations? And are ghosts perhaps, you know, people who have some emotional or spiritual tether to certain spots, and that's why they are at certain locations? I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's an interesting way to look at it.
Maybe you're foreshadowing your own haunting location.
Perhaps. Or I'm completely wrong, which is most likely.
Well, loosely fitting into that, I never realized, like, I love Arizona. Like we've been to Grand Canyon probably, I've been at least 4 times now. And we've been, been plenty other places across Arizona.
Mr. World Traveler.
I don't know, something about the desert over there. I love it. You know, I kind of want to retire in that area one day, but, you know, I never realized this, but it kind of ties into what you're saying with feeling drawn to places. I randomly was talking to my aunt one day about it, and, you know, she said, I like seeing your pictures from the Grand Canyon. It reminds me of all the stories your grandpa used to say. And she started to get into it, and I never realized this, but he used to actually leave from the, you know, Shreveport, Dallas area, jump on a train car, ride train cars out west into Arizona. And for a few years, he actually worked in Arizona on some big ranch, basically just watching over what she said was herds of buffalo. So I don't know if it was buffalo or bison, but supposedly just watching the herds, and they would just move the herds back and forth across Arizona, northern Arizona, and stuff like that. But yeah,
that's neat.
It's kind of a weird, like, it just seems weird that I feel drawn to that area and I like it so much. And, you know, I never knew that story until randomly one day when she told it.
Yeah, because it's not like you're from there.
Yeah.
I can't help but think this is all because of your fucking cousins in Shreveport.
There'll be a story.
Nobody listening is going to get that reference.
We'll have to tie something. I'll tie something in. This one time in Shreveport, you know.
I'm in Shreveport.
That's going to be the name of the episode. We got to find out something fucked up in Shreveport.
I was actually, so I was working in Natchitoches years ago, and there was a fucking Ghost Adventures episode in Natchitoches, you know. And
really?
that's like an hour away from Shreveport.
Yeah.
Shreveport.
Was that when we were in Coshada together?
That was...
Or was that a different time?
That was, I believe, after... You weren't there. So it must have been after you were let go or working with someone else.
So nobody knows this, but all 3 of us grew up together for a big portion of our young childhood. And
oh, yeah. We knew each other since, what, middle school? Like 7th grade?
1999.
1999. Good year.
Yep, 1999, because I remember I was riding my bike to school. It was, I think, the first day of school. And Jonathan's dumbass just looked at me and tried to race me to the elementary school on his bike. I didn't even know what was happening. He fucking took a shortcut. Like, I didn't even know we were racing. He still took a shortcut.
Yeah, that tracks. That sounds like Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he told me that he was a dirt bike racer and was going to use the top of the school as a ramp in a stunt show.
Hey.
Pretty sure that was the first story he told me.
Little kids, big dreams. Big dreams. I feel like that could be the opening segue for Grown Ups 3, where we all get chocolate wasted.
What I don't remember is the first time I met Peter. It would have had to have been on a school bus.
I'm pretty sure me and Sean knew each other first.
I think so.
Yeah, we all rode the bus together, but I think I knew Sean because he was in band with me.
I think so.
And then we eventually all started becoming friends. And then we realized you lived in the same neighborhood and just started hanging out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just showed our age.
About 23 years ago, yeah. Yeah,
the good old days. But we're all geographically in different places now, different stages of life. We got our own careers and doing a podcast together. So times are still good.
Yeah, like we're one of the few people out there that have kept up, I guess.
Yeah. Living the dream, I guess. Hey, Jonathan, what are the HOA fees where you're at?
Oh, I made sure I bought in a neighborhood that did not have an HOA.
Yeah,
lucky
fuck that
bastard.
Shit. I hear a child again.
What? Why are you poking your eye? What is wrong? Okay, enjoy your eye boogers. Yeah.
Have y'all picked up any background noise on my end? Not a lot's happened, but
I don't think so.
For every so often, I think a few times your voice kind of got all weird and.
I think that's like the internet connection, but it should record fine because it records to your computer and then it uploads.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. That's why I wanted to use this this recording app that I will not talk about because they are not sponsoring us.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be sponsoring us.
Hey, you never know.
Focus Factor. If you want to sponsor us and get us all a little more focused, that might work.
Was that like some ADHD shit?
You ever heard of Focus Factor? Somebody pushes and I can't think who it is.
I'd rather a sponsorship from Kroger Supermarket.
I still can't believe you live in Texas and you do not use HEB.
Yeah, that surprises me.
It's okay. It's like being in the pit at like a rock concert. That's how packed it is. There's so many people in HEB. And it's only gotten worse during the pandemic. I don't know why it is. Everyone just quit going to any other store.
Think about how packed it is when you count ghosts.
Yeah. At least there's at least one more, person when you count ghosts.
I want to try to get Brandy on here one day and talk about the haunted things that happen at her hospital.
True.
An interesting, talking about how there's ghosts in HEB, and there could be. One of the interesting theories. Ghost what?
Ghost peppers.
Yeah, sure. One of the interesting things I heard about a theory about that was, what if ghosts aren't just ghosts as a spirit, quote unquote, in our world, but what if when we see a ghost, what if it is a slip between realities or dimensions? If there's so many dimensions that are all running in sync with each other, and then one happens to have a slight difference, but it's at the same time as the reality and our reality, if those slight differences is when we see a quote unquote ghost and we both appear as ghosts. We appear as a ghost in their world and they appear as a ghost to us in our reality.
I hope I scare the shit out of somebody. No, I've thought about that before. And I've also heard a theory that people have where if you think about maybe having like a fourth dimension instead of 3 dimensions, think about your shadow on the ground. Your shadow's a 2-dimensional shape, right? So what if there's such thing as a 4th dimension and we just can't perceive it, but we just see somebody's 3rd dimensional shadow, for lack of a better way to say it. Like as if it's like a slice of something in a different dimension. There's theories about UFOs being that.
See, now this is why I need to get the thing that makes it look like you're surfing the internet from somewhere else, because I don't want the NSA tracking my computer.
VPN.
Yes, I need a VPN.
Nope. We are not sponsored by NordVPN.
Not sponsored yet. But if you want to pay us, no one listens.
Yeah.
We'll get better at this, people, I promise.
Yeah.
So
I don't think we're doing too bad for our first try, and no topic.
This is all off the cuff. We're just trying to introduce y'all to what we might be doing. So here's a quick little, I Googled it real quick. And I thought this is what I heard on a different show. The number of possible dimensions can go beyond 20, but it starts to collapse. The theory starts to collapse once you get to the 10th.
Really? It goes that far?
Yeah, once you get to a 10th dimension is when the possibility...
So it's likely all the way up to 10th dimensions?
Yes, that's the current theory.
Jesus.
The current working theory.
In which dimension are the Berenstein Bears actually the Berenstein Bears?
The 13th.
I want to go back to that one.
I was hoping this was the topic we would talk about. The Mandela effect.
That's definitely one we can put on the list.
My concern is that's been overdone.
Everything's been overdone.
That's true.
It all depends on how each person spins it. But yeah, just a quick little, since I put that out there, if somebody's wondering how there's possible 10 dimensions, it says the first one is like if you think of like a number line and you can point out spots on a number line. The second dimension would be if you had an X and Y axis. A third dimension would be once you add a Z axis. That's when you start thinking about length, width, and depth. And that's how you get the idea of volume.
Right.
The fourth dimension is when you add the concept of time.
Right.
And then it goes on. You have the fifth dimension, slightly different from our own. I don't want to read this word for word, but it basically keeps going. Let's just skip all the way to the 10th dimension and see what it says. The 10th and final dimension, that point in which everything is possible and imaginable. Beyond this, nothing can be imagined. And
so movies are the 10th dimension.
This is almost what it sounds like. I know I said and I didn't keep reading, but it just kind of trails off. Nothing can be imagined by us lowly mortals. It just kind of seems like it's... And then we could talk about crazy people. If we're going to not use that word, we can talk about people that, have...
people that believe in
stuff
very strong opinion things.
11th dimension people. The people with 2 brain cells fighting for third place.
Is that what we're going to call our listeners? The 11th dimension people?
Yeah. I thought we'd go back to Breaking Infinity.
I thought of that.
I still have that email address.
Really?
Yes, that's where all my junk mail goes.
I thought of that and Voctory.
Yeah. The
listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
No. Is your mom's trash can still spray painted?
That one probably floated away during some hurricane.
Oh, there's been a few hurricanes since then. Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Lost my train of thought again, but
sounds like you need Focus Factor.
Focus Factor.
I don't know. That's Joe Rogan.
Not a sponsor.
The guy I was thinking of.
Oh,
he pushes. It's not Focus Factor that he pushes. It's something else.
Is that this nutrition for the brain thing?
Yeah, probably so.
I guess it's like a vitamin or something.
Pretty sure there was a Nintendo DS game to help with focusing.
Yes, we can cover that too. That is not a... You talked about games and it brought up that one. That is not
Flash. Flash Focus, I believe.
No.
This game aims to strengthen the user's focus ability. Take that, Joe Rogan.
Do all 3 of us have ADHD?
It's possible.
We're never going to stay on a consistent topic.
I don't want the show to stay on a consistent topic. My goal is to derail every episode.
Yeah, and then I'll bleep out all of your not curse words.
I think my mom owned Flash Focus on the Nintendo DS.
Polybius. That's what we need to talk about.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Jeremy, do you know anything about that?
Nope, I'm going to stay blind to the subject.
Yeah, write that one down.
Polybius. I'll add that one to our board. But it's a video game that I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's a video game that may or may not have ever existed, and it may or may not have been used to test very different types of, we'll say, focus for the time being.
Is that like an MK Ultra thing?
It leads back to what could possibly be MK Ultra.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Or during that testing, those same years is when MK Ultra would have been in operation, that's a crazy concept to think that we had basically government officials that everyone supposedly trusted that would dose themselves randomly and dose buddies and dose random people in public with LSD to see the reactions.
Yeah, it's fucked up because it's a fact that happened.
Yeah.
So like anytime people are like, "Oh, you believe in conspiracy theories," that thing happened. Like,
yeah,
nobody would have believed that.
Government wouldn't lie to you.
No. But we don't talk about politics on here, so.
I specifically don't want to talk about politics here.
I have no opinion in an official way of politics. Now, ghost politics.
Ghost politics. Who is their leader?
Abraham Lincoln, maybe?
Abraham.
No, he's a vampire hunter.
Yes.
He had to be a vampire hunter, so it couldn't have been him. He's definitely not their ruler.
Maybe it's Casper.
George Washington could possibly, maybe. Or maybe he was a zombie overlord.
Yeah, I don't know how many brains he's going to be eating with his wooden teeth.
I don't know of any. Maybe we should make a vampire podcast. There was a
like a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, we have four podcasts.
Well, I've got over 200 different podcasts in my saved to my,
Oh yeah, it's the entire reason my phone has no room on it.
I was trying to think of the name of it. There's actually, and I'll shout them out because they stopped making podcasts, or I think they at least slowed down. We need to get them jump started again. Oh well, look at me lying.
They're making new ones.
Well, it says trailer season 1, part 2 trailer. So if you ever get a chance, listen to We're Alive.
Can I cut you off the backtrack?
Yeah,
you mentioned George Washington's teeth, and they were not wood. I want to make that clear.
He lied.
It's cooler than that. He had partial dentures that were made from human and possibly cow teeth, as well as ivory.
Holy shit!
I was hoping you were going to get into that. Yeah. So, how haunted was his mouth?
Very, very haunted. I think I'm looking at a picture of his dentures.
Really?
They're pretty fucking straight, man.
That's not how I pictured it when you said that.
Yeah, his bottoms look horrible, but his tops, all those whatevers.
The top is a human, the bottom like that.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
I'm not even going to take the time to look that one up. I'm just going to leave that alone.
I'll put it on our website on our first episode post.
We have a website?
George,
yeah, you didn't see our website?
No, I did not see our website.
Yeah, so for you and our listeners, go ahead and look at strangewoodspodcast.com, and we will post like show notes and interesting things about each episode. Like if we talk about George Washington's teeth, we'll post a picture on it.
Holy shit, people. You can actually Google us. Does anybody else realize? Oh, wait, hold on. Apparently, at some point, how the hell do we have an IMDb page? What the fuck?
No, we're not in Strange Woods. We're Strange Woods Podcast.
Oh,
they're like a musical something. Or shout out to the other Strange Woods.
I thought there's Into the Woods. So that's a Disney movie.
Oh yeah, I never watched that.
It was okay.
So I specifically have to put the Strange Woods.
Yeah. But if you put strangewoodspodcast.com, it'll come up. Google probably didn't find the website yet.
Google slack them.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, Google.
Hey, does it load fucked up looking for you?
I don't know. What'd you say the name of it was again?
strangewoodspodcast.com. It looks funny on mine.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, we can't just Google it.
Oh no, it didn't even come up for me at all. Unless I didn't spell it right, which nobody knows. That's likely. But I can't spell, so
there's a link.
Oh wait! I actually did spell it wrong. I put CSAT instead.
I'll put the. That's why.
So all I see is our name, a white page, and a couple of buttons. Wait, hold on. Okay. The trailer just loaded.
See, it was working fine the other day. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, guys, we don't have a website.
Well, we have a website. It's ugly right now, and I don't know why.
I like Instagram.
If I log into it, it fixes.
Oh, I found it. There we go.
If I need to, I can run an Instagram page.
Yeah, this looks bad.
Oh, wait, it fixed. Try refreshing it.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, yeah, now it's green.
So forgive us if you go to our website and it's ugly.
Just refresh until it's good.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's the right one. Yeah. It's strange, we know.
Yeah.
So 48 minutes in.
Oh, I think
not doing too bad.
Our first episode, is it going to be Halloween? Or
Our first real one?
Yeah.
I'll put this one on as a, I guess, bonus episode. Or like introduction episode.
This shouldn't even be uploaded. This should
it's going up there.
It should just be listened to for sound checks.
Oh no, it's going on.
I think what our first episode is going to be either Halloween or the word that I'm thinking of is sleep paralysis. Yes.
Sleep paralysis.
That's fun.
It is a fun, interesting topic because there's a lot that can go into that, depending on if you live in America, in the South, in the North, and a different country. But the craziest thing is that every country believes in it and has a different belief in it.
Really?
I mean, I know the real reason behind it. I know the science, and also know what it feels like to have pretty intense episodes of it. And I can see where, the lore comes from, man. It's a fun thing.
I can look up the names of all what the other countries call them later, but here in the South, is where you hear the term, the old hag syndrome, which is supposed to be what sleep paralysis is that's why you feel like you can't breathe, is because it was thought that basically I don't remember if the lore states if it was a witch specifically, or if it was just an old woman that sat on your chest to drain the life out of you. I guess if she's draining life, she had to be a witch. But
that sounds like a heart attack.
The crazy thing is that every country has a different word for the old hag, but they all basically believe in the exact same thing. That's the same concept as I don't know what country it is where it comes from, but the succubus and incubus is basically the same as old hag.
Yeah, fuck that. I think I'd lose my shit if I had that happen to me.
I don't technically have sleep paralysis, I don't think. I don't know if I've ever experienced that, but I do have and experience it fairly regularly. If you've ever heard of exploding head syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Describe that, because I'm not really familiar with that. I've just heard people talk about it.
So exploding head syndrome is similar in certain ways because it normally happens when you're about to fall asleep or about to wake up. But I mean, it can sound like anything from, the stuff falling over in your kitchen going crazy, or a car door slamming, or an explosion, or a dog barking. It's just a loud noise that all of a sudden wakes you up out of nowhere.
Huh.
And
I might have had that the other night.
I've jumped out of bed more than once and grabbed my gun and ran into the living room thinking somebody was in the house.
Can it sound like a voice?
I've never experienced a voice, but I guess I don't see why it couldn't.
Because the other night, Brandy, my wife, for the people that don't know her, she was in the living room and I was laying in bed, and I guess I was dozing off or something, and I had headphones in my ears, and I could have sworn she was calling out to me, and I saw lights flickering, and it turned out she just watching TV, and I was just seeing the lights flickering from the TV, but I could have sworn she called out to me. It's kind of weird, but like I guess I do hear noises like that.
Yeah, and I think that's somewhat normal because I know me, whenever I'm in that stage from about to be asleep, but I'm just dozing off, I just even small ambient sounds around me will just kind of intensify and swell up to a point where it wakes me, and then it's calms back down to normal.
Yeah, I guess it could be like a adrenaline response. Like you're falling asleep and then a very slight noise seems louder and just wakes you up with adrenaline. I don't know.
Oh, it's a big burst of something, because here's a story. There was one night, Hannah, my wife, sleeps on the side of the bed, or at least this night she did, where that was technically closer to the door. I was sleeping on the far end of the bed. She said she woke up to me somehow Rambo flipping over her, where I was completely airborne in a parallel, like over her, flipped out of bed, grabbed the gun off the counter in the bedroom, and I went to the door, used the corner of the door as cover, and said, "Get the fuck out of my house." And then cocked my gun and got down on one knee and said, "You can leave now." Because I thought somebody was in the house, and it was Valentine's Day, and the shadow of a heart-shaped balloon made me think it was somebody's shoulders.
Well, that makes me think of that time when we were kids and you sat up in the middle of the night and said Christmas pie.
Yeah. It turns out is a thing. Apparently Christmas pie exists.
Really?
As an actual food, yeah.
Interesting.
I've looked this up before. There was
it was a lot weirder when we didn't know that it existed.
Yeah. I think there was also one time Jonathan talks in his sleep a lot. He did as a kid.
He probably still does.
Pretty sure there was a time in my bedroom where we talked to him while he was talking in his sleep and somewhat controlled how his dream played out. That happened.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely happened.
And also Peter grinds his teeth loudly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's awful. Oh, I heard my kid grind his teeth the other night, and he talks in his sleep. So he has both y'all's issues.
Nice.
Yeah. Grinding is a terrible sound.
It's bad.
One of our kids does. I don't know which one. I happened to hear it the other day, and they were both, it was a weekend, and they were sleeping in the living room, fell asleep watching TV. All of a sudden I heard grinding. I don't know which one it was, but.
Get them mouth guards. It's amazing. Not that I use them anymore. But they're nice when you have them. But I have a bad habit of spitting them out in the middle of the night, and then they get lost under the bed in the dust. And then I don't have one until I go buy another one. But I never buy them.
Do you still have a sleep apnea machine?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make it into Darth Vader mascot?
It's pretty unobtrusive. It just goes over my nostrils.
That's what growing up is, kids. You need breathing machines at night, sleep apnea guards. And
don't get old. Get abducted.
Guards. As soon as
by aliens.
If you sleep on your stomach, your arms fall asleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. So on Reddit, I saw about this. It's actually not cutting off blood flow when your arms go to sleep like that. It's simply compressing your nerves. So that's why you get the tingly fire ants up and down your arms feeling.
So it's just your body being an asshole?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, it literally happens every night.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
And turn like crazy.
If I want to sleep without any part of my body falling asleep on me in the middle of the night, I need to hug a pillow. But I can't do that because I get too hot. So I just sleep without a pillow in my stomach and just randomly have to fix my arms. Awesome.
It seems counterintuitive because if we're trying to go to sleep, who cares if my arm's asleep? It'll wake up when I wake up.
That's true.
Just stay asleep and don't bother me.
Oh, here's fun. I only get sleep paralysis when I sleep on my back.
Really?
Yep.
That would go along with the lore because the old hag, we'll just go with that for now, is supposedly sitting on your chest to suck the life out of you. So,
yeah, I think I would just lose my shit. I don't think I would handle that well at all.
Put an old broom outside of your front door and see if that helps.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, no. So, supposedly. So this is a Southern thing. But one of the things in the South, I guess it comes from the Carolinas technically, the boo hag is, that's not me. That's a South Carolina thing. But that's why in South Carolina, you see have you seen the bottle trees where it's a metal, it'll just be metal with bottles that hang on it. It looks like a Christmas tree. Yeah. It looks like
that's what those are for.
Yeah. Well, they're to distract the boo hag. And the spirits.
I've seen that down the bayou too.
In Native American lore, they also trap spirits, and supposedly when the sun rises and shines through them, that somehow dissipates the spirits. But the bottles are supposed to be blue, I thought.
Yeah, I think they're technically supposed to be blue. But
do they work as well as having a penny in a Ziploc bag of water for flies?
I've never heard of that one.
Better. They work better.
But you got the bottle tree, and then they say if you put an old broom outside your door, that any bad spirits that are trying to enter your home at night when you're asleep get stuck at the door, because they will sit at the door to count the straw in the broom, basically.
Can we get them to just sweep?
It'd be more helpful.
If they want to sweep my kitchen, yeah.
Look, I'll leave a broom in every room in the house if you want to sweep up my cat hair.
There's also a thing, I'd have to look this up again, but you know how in a lot of southern homes, over your front door, like your front porch, the ceiling will be painted a light blue, like a sky blue. That's supposed to confuse spirits as well, but it also works really good for spiders, because spiders don't like to nest where they don't think they're covered. So they won't make nest up under your patio or in your garage if the ceiling is a light blue sky color, because it confuses them.
They sound stupid. Does that actually work?
I doubt it.
Supposedly, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. I did plan on.
If you haven't figured it out, Jeremy's the skeptic in this group.
I just doubt everything and everyone. I will say, if I leave a broom outside of my house within a week, I'm getting a letter from the HOA.
Oh, you need to move.
Yeah.
No, I put my trash can out 6 hours too early one day because I had shrimp peelings in it. I got a fucking letter in a week saying, you need to fix this within a day. Like, what are you talking about? It's not even there anymore. I put it out 6 hours early.
I literally leave my garbage at the road because I always forget about it on garbage day.
I would collect those papers. I would do it intentionally, and I'd collect the papers, and then I would see if you could do anything for harassment. Because there's some HOAs out there that just get absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, my dad used to get a lot of crap for having his boat in the front yard and his work truck, and he's like, look, I can put my boat in the backyard, but I'm not putting my work truck in the backyard. Because he's got a bucket truck. Yeah.
There's neighborhoods over here in Georgia that control the color you can paint your house.
Oh, yeah, mine too.
They're like that in New Mexico, I believe.
Yeah,
that's why there's kind of a common palette of houses out there.
I can't have a shed in my backyard unless it's hidden by my house. So I can't have anything visible over the fences.
Oh, the hell with that.
Holiday decorations can only be up within the month of the holiday. What's some other stupid fucking rules?
Your grass probably can't be past a certain height.
Oh, yeah.
Is some asshole going out there with a ruler and measuring people's grass?
I don't know. They do drive-bys and take pictures of your fucking house and then send you a letter.
Get a fucking hobby.
That is their hobby.
It's Karen.
Start a podcast.
Karen's Anonymous.
Yeah, no, I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know. But the thing is, I still have like houses in the neighborhood with like cars that haven't moved in years, and like they never edge their sidewalks. But it's like, are they getting letters constantly? I hope so.
Oh, there's
my street.
One of the guys at work said something about that because he fixes cars and he'll sell them on the side every now and then. He'll fix up a car and sell it. Well, he has to constantly be moving the cars or go out there with a bucket of water, because there's people, once a car sits for more than 48 hours, they'll chalk his tires. He said that he'll walk out there and he'll see the chalk lines behind the tires to see if the car moves. Do people really have nothing to do? I mean, really?
Oh, so at the parking garage at work, I one time got a sticker on my side window or whatever door window, saying that they were going to tow my car if I don't move it, because I park so consistently. I'm very, very particular about how I park. They thought it wasn't moving for months because I park the exact same spot. Until finally I had to go to building management. Like, look, I drive here every day. They're like, no, they only put stickers on cars that don't move. I'm telling you, I drove here this morning. So I was actually happy that, like, man, I'm that good at parking,
That is kind of crazy. That
I don't know that I would be proud that somebody thinks you don't move your car.
It also, I never washed my car. It was covered in dirt, so that's probably another reason.
I thought it was abandoned.
Probably.
At least they warned you and they didn't just tow it.
Yeah.
Was it a nice sticker, or was it one of the the stickers they put on the side on your car on the side of the highway? Have you seen those when the cops stop?
Oh, the big neon ones.
Yeah. Have you ever seen somebody try to get one of those stickers off?
You need a razor blade.
I see people all the time with them half ripped off.
Yeah. That's how mine was. And they were like, "Do you want me to take it off?" Like, no, you know what? I don't want you to touch my car again. I'll just do it myself. Next thing I need is them scratching up my window with a razor blade or something stupid.
We need to figure out how to send a parking cop ghost after them.
I'm gonna haunt parking garages in big cities.
We're derailed here now. You guys are an hour behind me though, so it's only 9. Or ahead of me.
I do need to put my kid to bed actually.
Nah, the old man will do it.
No, he didn't come around anymore.
Oh, that would be creepy.
I mean, it would be useful more than creepy.
If somehow he ever reappears, you got to keep us updated.
Yeah, get him on the podcast.
You just have a sound box playing on another microphone, waiting to see if anybody responds.
Wait, let's do a live EVP right now. Ask the old man to say something.
No.
Hey, old man.
I refuse to acknowledge him.
Hey, old man, say something.
I'm sure Jeremy has headphones on.
Hey, if ghosts can go into those little, what do you call it, the ovulus, and pick out words and tell you a story or whatever, then they can hear me through the headphones.
Perhaps not.
Hey, old man, talk.
So in editing, can you cut out all the dead spaces between us talking, or is that something that wouldn't work right?
I mean, I could do it, but it would just take a long time because I don't think anyway I have anything that'll do it automatically. No. So I would have to manually go in there and chop up 3 files.
I guess the idea is during an actual recording, we just don't have dead time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just fill that time
and actually stick to a topic.
Me complaining about something, if it gets
quiet, just start complaining, Jeremy.
I'll start typing on my keyboard. I'll make it seem like I'm researching something.
Yeah, I think this went smoothly. Hopefully, it recorded well.
Yeah. Hopefully, there's a 4th voice at some point of an old elderly man.
I don't know. You won't talk to him.
He's sweeping. He's sweeping right now.
The broom's outside.
Yeah, the broom's outside.
Hey, I don't make up these stories. I just hear them.
What would you do if your kid came in here and was like, "Hey, he's back"?
Well, he would know that we were talking about it because he was sitting by me. So
Jerry's in the garage.
He's sweeping. I don't understand.
Dad, why is he sweeping?
He said, "Fuck you! I don't want your chores." So if anybody,
how do we end this thing?
I mean, eventually we'll have to shut up. But if anybody's got any comments or wants to critique us or give us any direction on what they think, we probably will not take your recommendation, but we'll read it. So you can, I'm sure there's somewhere you can post that. Is there anywhere that you can post that?
Our email. We have an email.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that, but go ahead and email us with all your comments and complaints, and somebody will read them at some point in time.
strangewoodspodcast@gmail.com.
Just don't Google that because you won't find it.
No, and the website might look fucked up. We're figuring it out. Don't make fun of us.
Just refresh the email address.
So thanks for taking, what are we at? An hour and 9 minutes right now. Thanks for taking the time.
Frankly, too long.
Hey, maybe somebody will listen. I've listened to much more boring things.
I've listened to more boring things and things that lasted a lot longer than this.
Okay, the first person to listen to this whole thing and email me the last word of this episode, I'll send you a Lego brick in the mail. Just email us at strangewoods.org.
I will see your Lego
Podcast@gmail.com.
I will see your Lego brick and include a bouncy ball.
I'm not sending you shit.
Remember that Lego box I bought when we were kids?
You mean the box?
Yeah, my dad hated that so bad.
Wait, what Lego box?
Dude, you don't remember that?
The police station, I think.
No, it was Fort Legorito.
It was not Fort Legorito.
Yeah, I thought I was getting Fort Legorito, and it was literally an empty box.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
With a bouncy ball and like 2 Lego pieces.
I think I had like a 3-wheeler or something. Yeah,
and they just sent a box, like an empty cardboard box.
Yeah.
No, it was a Fort Legorito box, just with nothing in it.
Wow.
So if you were that asshole that posted that on eBay back in 1999,
maybe 2001.
Okay, yeah, maybe early 2000s. You're an asshole, and I hope that you get countless letters from your HOA about your obnoxious assholeness.
I hope that the ghosts don't sweep your house.
All right. I guess we need to close this somehow.
I'm going to bed.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be more structured in the future.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for putting up with us, and we'll see you next time.
And are we done?
Yeah, just cut it right there in editing, I guess.
No, I'm going to leave all this right here.
Okay.